So one of the first things we did is on March 18th, we closed our office. We work with donors at all ages, but the ones that we were most concerned about are our older donors, those that are 60 plus. We did not want them to come into the office, and they had a tendency to do that. So we decided the best line of action was to go ahead and close the office.
The casino closed due to the COVID-19 crisis 8 days after I started work there. It's been a blessing and a curse. Part of my responsibilities are to administer policy and help ensure consistency across all outlets within the casino, all food and beverage outlets within the casino. And so I have been able to, during this time, really dig into the policies that they have on the books currently and update them, or rewrite them, edit them, write new policy.
The first thing was, our plan was to wait until May to come out, for the family to go. And then it was a huge responsibility, like, is it going to make it worse us staying? Is, our, not carbon footprint, but, are we going to be safer there or safer here? Just traveling, can you even get, through state lines? There was a lot of, so many decisions made, and then we just decided, overnight, like, let's just do it and get it over with. Especially since the casino is still closed and Duke's not working, this really is the best time, but we have no help. You can't have our friends or family help us drive. So there was no good time to do it.
It's really just the adjustment. You can hear the cat in the background. You have to deal with your pets at home and your family at home. The struggle I'm having, my work is a little different. I'm with a community foundation, so what we're doing is trying to raise money and give money to organizations and groups that need it. So our first order of business was to do food for kids. Make sure that, because all these kids aren't in school now, so the breakfast and lunches that were typically provided are no longer being provided. Thankfully, USDA is doing that. We've got that covered. And you can see, here she is. This happens on Zoom meetings all the time. We'll have friends and coworkers and colleagues, we'll have animals run through, kids run through. So we have that.
Yeah, he applied for the job and then couldn't go for his first interview till after the first of the year because he didn't have vacation time. So the whole time at Christmas, we knew that we might be moving and getting this job, so we made the decision not to tell anybody. So Christmas was kind of one of those things where, is this our last Christmas together? But I don't want to tell them that because it's a dream job that, you hope you're going to get, but you're like, well, it's probably not going to happen. So we had the Christmas, which was sad in those ways of, it might be the last one. So he went out the beginning of January for the first interview and liked it. And so the second interview was to see, do the drug testing and then try to get the gaming license, which was a huge uncertainty for us because he had already applied for a gaming license in Kansas years back and didn't get that job because he didn't qualify. Kansas is harder, but so we were just kind of like, this might not happen because of that. And that was was that January? Was it the end of January, or was that the beginning? I don't remember. But then he went out and we thought it would be a couple weeks. They told him it'd be a couple weeks before they even applied, got his application for the gaming license. And then 3 days later, he called me when we were at the movies and said, I got the job and they gave me more than I even asked for. And so they put in, like, he got back and they said that, because you have to put your 2 weeks in for your job. And his boss at the time was like, well, let's, start it here. So he didn't even really have those full 2 weeks. And then we made plans of moving, and then, yeah, it was just overnight. We are moving to California, really. I mean,
We were waiting on my oldest son Ivan to finish the semester, and the plan was for he, my wife, my other son Simon, and a couple of friends were going to load the truck, take the car, take their time getting out to California, and then spend some time with us, a week or two in California, in Oregon, you know, seeing the sights and enjoying the new surroundings. And then Ivan and his friends would have made their way home. When this really started to ramp up, when the COVID-19 crisis really started to ramp up, there was so much uncertainty about what steps were going to be taken. And information that we were provided on a state level from the state of California and the state of Kansas was very, very different from the information that was being provided by the federal government. And so there was a lot of confusion, and we were not sure. Tara and Ivan wanted to load up immediately and just get out there. But the more we talked about it logistically, it was rash. And then within the week or two after schools closed down here in Kansas, you know, the blooming of all of the worry about coronavirus and, you know, all of the stay-at-home orders and all of those things started really falling into place all across the country. And so that put us in a mindset of, okay, well, it's irresponsible for us to move at this time. It just is. It's irresponsible for us to try to get 2,000 miles, for them to load up and try to get 2,000 miles to me, and then for the boys to get 2,000 miles back home. Because we weren't sure about flights. We weren't, you know, I couldn't afford to fly all of them back home, and they couldn't afford flights for themselves at the time.
Yeah, I shop at Walmart now, where I never did. It's the only one of the only places that Dillon's does do curbside, but there's hardly ever anything available. I always shopped at Aldi's. I do not like shopping at Walmart. So that's been kind of horrible. And then just being able to go to the movies with, take my nieces. We were going to see Trolls World Tour, and I had to buy it for them to watch at their house without me. And, Simon's graduation party and, all just so, I've always been a flexible person. Life always is throwing stuff and you just learn to dodge. But this, you don't know, there's no right answer. In other situations, like, okay, we have a flat tire, you can say, I go fix my tire. But with this, there's no way at all to know what the right answer is, I haven't been able to go out and experience some of the things around the area. I wanted to be able to, once my family got out there, in the original time plan in May, I wanted to know, several spots in Redding and several spots in Sacramento and several spots in Red Bluff, and, where's the coolest set of trails that we can go to? What are the coolest restaurants that we can go to? What's going on in Chico? And all of those things. And so that's been disappointing, that I'm not able to experience any of those things. And so my isolation instead of it just being me by myself having to go out and experience these things, I haven't, other than trying to find some places to go walk, some cool trails, or, go down by the river, something like that. I haven't been able to get out and check out any of the local scenes and restaurants and stores and, that sort of stuff. So that's really where it has been the most difficult for me, personally, out in California.
You know, personally, this is a tough situation. I mean, got 2 seniors, one in high school, one in college, and it's hard. And it's hard to see what we won't be able to do. But again, I've seen some really great pieces with my kids. They've just jumped right up and were like, it's okay, we'll figure it out. We'll do something different if we have to. So, like I said, a crisis brings out the best in people. We just have to look at that.